Have you ever asked yourself the question, why is love not working out for me? I see all these other women out there that they seem to have the answer. I just want the answer. Why is it not working out for me? What mistakes am I making? Let me tell you that there are 3 common mistakes that I see that get women to attract the men that they do not want, and definitely turn off the men that they do want. And you may be doing one, you may be doing all 3, but I want to share them with you today and how you can avoid them. And we're starting right now. For the best love, dating, and relationship advice, hit the bell, subscribe so that you get notified when new videos drop every week. The 3 mistakes that I'm going to be sharing with you today are actually on a subconscious level. That is why you haven't been able to get over it. That is why you could write out, I'm not going to do this again, I'm not going to do this again, I'm not going to do this again. And then you continue to do those same things. Attract the same guys, have the same relationships, knowing full well that it's not what you want, and simply knowing what you really could do to change it, but your mind just won't allow it. Because we can't get into deep subconscious work here in this video, I highly recommend that you do check out my masterclass. It's in the link in the banner. You can go to my website, or I will also place the link in the description below that will give you more insight into how your subconscious mind is blocking you from finding the one. But let's get right into those 3 steps just so that we have some clarity around exactly what they are. The first mistake that you may be doing to attract the wrong guys and not get the love that you've always wanted, and most of my clients do, is working hard for the love. What do I mean by this? I mean, you make up the difference. He doesn't meet you halfway. It's like, if you want to work for it, I guess you can work for it. You're like, I want to work for it. I'm going to call you more. I'm going to text you more. I'm going to ask you out. I'm going to pay for things. I'm going to do all the work. You don't have to do anything. All you have to do is just love me. What does this do? When we lean in like this, you can think of there's this bubble, and there's 2 people in the bubble. There's you and there's the guy, and it's called the relationship bubble. And what happens is when he starts to lean back and he's not working for your love, he's not putting in the work to say, I'm interested in this relationship and to see where it goes. And you can start to feel him pull away. And what you want to do instinctively is you want to reach in and you want to go, oh, I'll make up the difference so we can stay close, so that we can still hang out, so we can still be together. But what happens is when we lean in this relationship bubble, where does he have to go? Boop. Ghosting gone, so far gone, he's gone. If he's the right guy. And if he's the wrong guy, it's like, I would love for you to work hard for my love. I would love for you to plan everything, do everything. Let me control you, manipulate you, make you feel bad, call you names. He will love it. The wrong guy will absolutely love you working hard for it. And if this is you and you're wondering, why am I doing this? I know I'm doing it. I know I don't want to do it, but I do it. A very good reason, Natalie, a client that I worked with, and this is again all on that subconscious level. We get into it in your rapid transformational therapy session. For her in her rapid transformational therapy session, we went back to scenes from her childhood of her brother making her do weird things for love. You can do this and then we can hang out. You can do this, I'll give you candy. And so what happened was she rewired a neurological network of thinking of, I'm supposed to work hard for love. I don't just show up and I'm lovable and I'm enough just the way I am, which attracts all the right guys. No, I have to work hard for love. I got to lean in on that relationship bubble. I have to do more, be more, say more to get the love that I've always wanted. It's different for me. I don't just get to show up this way. And when she realized, oh, wow, that's just a belief that isn't true, that I picked up on in my subconscious from that event. It's actually not who I am at all. And all of a sudden, the guy that she was working so hard for at the time, she was able to lean back and say, if you're interested, it's here, but I'm not working for it anymore. what happens? The guy starts to panic. He starts to work hard for your love. And if he is your guy, he will work hard for the love. First, we need to let him know that we're interested. We never play games, right? But we don't work hard for the love. So if you are working hard for the love in hopes of desperately getting that love in return, you see what happens is we really just give what we're needing. But here's the secret. You can't get it from somebody else. That thing you're trying to get from somebody else, you can't get it from somebody else. You can only give it to yourself. So lean back, relax, and let him do the work. Don't ever work hard for somebody's love. You're worthy of it just by showing up. Mistake number 2 that so many women make, and they don't even realize that they're doing it, is being too needy. This is absolutely nails on a chalkboard for a guy. This scarcity is such a turnoff, and you may not even realize you're doing it. Jessica, a client of mine, did realize she was doing it. She was settling for guys that she didn't want to be with. Sound familiar? She was showing up way too needy, saying, do you love me? Are we going to be together forever? Is this going to turn out? The guys hated it, but they felt so lucky to be with her, they stayed, right? But she didn't want this type of relationship. She didn't want to be dating those guys. She definitely didn't want to be showing up needy because she didn't need to be needy. She was the bomb. So what happened? We go back to scenes from her childhood in rapid transformational therapy session. Her dad left. And of course, she's been to therapy. She knows. She's talked about her dad and daddy issues. But it's not the daddy issues that you're thinking. It's not the event of whatever happened to you. We all had things that happened to us. It's not the event. It's the subconscious meaning that we tie to the event of what that means about us. So Jessica, all of a sudden, has this intense fear that she's not worthy of being loved, an intense fear of being rejected. And so what happens? Her subconscious mind perks up and says, we need to ensure that Jessica's feeling loved. We need to ensure that the relationship is good, that she won't be rejected. And so almost like this OCD behavior, she was constantly needing or thinking she was needing this reassurance. And it made her show up so needy, unnecessarily, because her dad leaving she wasn't lovable. As kids, we don't realize it. We see it with kid eyes, right? Oh, dad left. I must not be lovable. No, dad left because dad had issues. You were always lovable enough. He didn't have the capacity to love you the way that you deserve to be loved, to see you as the gift that you were. I can say this to you right now, but your subconscious mind is like, nice try. We're going to keep her showing up needy, right? Right. So if you're interested in how to move past this, you're going to want to go in on a subconscious level to understand why. Why did you attach a meaning to an event that makes you showing up needy? Mistake number 3 that women make enrages my soul, because no woman should make this mistake. And that mistake is putting up with bad behavior. Do not ever put up with bad behavior in a relationship. It's like training a dog. When a guy does bad behavior, you give him rewards by looking the other way, by not standing up for yourself, by saying it's okay to do that. And when we do that, what happens? What does the dog do? It repeats the behavior. Is it easier said than done? Absolutely. Why? Because it's on a subconscious level. That's why you're putting up with the bad behavior. You know it's bad behavior. You don't want to put up with it, but subconsciously you have to put up with it, because if you're interested in filling out that blank, I highly recommend you book a discovery call with me so we can peel back the layers of your deep subconscious as to why you've ever put up with bad behavior. What is the reason, the root reason for putting up with that bad behavior? We will definitely fill in the blank for you. Sarah was a client of mine who struggled with setting boundaries for herself. She constantly put up with bad behavior. A lot of my clients actually have trouble setting boundaries and definitely put up with bad behavior. And for her, she couldn't understand why. Well, we go back, way back, all the way back in a rapid transformational therapy session to a time in her childhood where she had experiences with a family member where it wasn't safe to set boundaries. And her mind said, we can't set boundaries. If we set boundaries, we get hurt. If we set boundaries, scary things happen. So what happens, a protector moves in and protects her and says, we can't set boundaries. Well, Sarah's not living at that home anymore. Sarah can 100% set boundaries. She's not a kid anymore. She can get the keys and leave at any time. Anytime the bad behavior shows up. But who doesn't know? Who hasn't gotten a subconscious upgrade? Her subconscious mind. Why? Because she's always thinking about the event that happened. She's always trying to work it out here in her 5%, journaling, writing it out, going to the therapy sessions, going to the meditation retreats, all of which are very helpful. But if you want to root it out and you haven't been able to do that based on the piecemeal approach of everything that you've been trying, you're still making this mistake or all the other mistakes that we talked about. There's a very good reason, and it's actually not even your fault. And if you're ready to find out why, let's do it together. So if you are ready and done with making these 3 mistakes that pull the right men away and create a warm, loving embrace for a toxic relationship with the guy you actually don't want to be dating, then I highly recommend you watch my video, How to Get the Man I Want Using RTT, which is Rapid Transformational Therapy. Remember, you were meant to love and be loved, and you don't have to dive deep into your subconscious to understand the root reason for why you're making these mistakes. Let's do it together. Book a discovery call with me. Bye for now.